The incredible 1888 blizzard that transformed New York City's heart, a touching journey. The wind howled like a pack of wolves, swirling snowflakes into a blinding frenzy that turned New York City into a winter wasteland. Streets once bustling with life were now eerily silent, muffled by the weight of an unforgiving blizzard. Yet, in this chaos, there emerged a spark of warmth and compassion, ignited by none other than young Lily O'Sullivan. At just 14, she was far from a typical girl. She was the daughter of an Irish immigrant with a fire in her heart, determined to help those around her find shelter from the storm. With snow clinging to her woolen coat, Lily peered out into the blizzard's fury. The bakery her father ran, O'Sullivan's, stood defiantly against the cold, its window glowing like a beacon of hope amidst the storm's despair. But the storm was growing fiercer. It threatened not just their livelihood, but the very spirit of their community. "We can't let it win," she whispered, her breath forming clouds before her. As the wind rattled the windows, she saw her neighbors struggling, bundled in threadbare clothing, trudging through knee-deep snow with weary expressions. The weight of hardship pressed on them. Their faces told tales of lost work and dwindling hope. But Lily, a fierce heart in a frail body, decided she would not sit idly by. "If we come together, we can beat this," she declared, marching out into the storm with a head held high. Gathering the children first, she rallied them with stories of bravery, her words weaving a tapestry of courage amidst the cold. They giggled as they helped her prepare hot soup and fresh bread. The warmth of the bakery filled with the scent of baked goods and friendships being renewed. Each shared bowl became more than food. It was a reminder of their shared strength, a community bound together by love and resilience. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. But the storm was not the only threat looming in the city. A wealthy businessman, his eyes cold and calculating, saw the blizzard as an opportunity to snatch up struggling establishments like her father's bakery. Confronting Lily one frigid evening, he smirked, offering a pathetically low sum for their beloved shop. The weight of her family's dreams clashed violently with her own desire for an education, now churning to protect their legacy. "No, this isn't just a bakery, it's our home," she shouted, her voice cutting through the howling winds. The air thickened with tension as she stood her ground. Her determination echoed in the hearts of her neighbors, igniting a collective defiance against the injustice. Would they band together to save their beloved community's spirit? With the blizzard swirling fiercely outside, the stakes felt monumental. As the shadows of wealthed ambition loomed large, Lily's fierce heart offered a light, but would it be enough? Uncertainty hung in the air, like the snowflakes suspended mid-flight, waiting for the moment when they would finally land. The heart of New York City held its breath, ready to witness the power of unity against overwhelming odds. The warmth from the bakery surrounded Lily as she returned inside, brushing the chill of the storm off her coat. She could still feel the lingering tension from the businessman's visit. It wrapped itself around her heart like a heavy weight. But the continued laughter of the children and the rumbling of pots hit by spoons pulled her back into focus. "Come on, let's make more," she urged as she ladled soup into bowls. The cool contrast of the steaming liquid against her skin reminded her of the warmth she wanted to share. The kids followed her lead, each one more enthusiastic than the last. As they worked, the bakery transformed from a simple building into a fortress of hope, filled not just with the smell of bread, but with the sound of community, with spirits intertwined through this common cause. Soon, they placed the first batches of bread out to cool. Lily watched as the golden loaves lined the counter, the crusty exteriors hiding soft, warm centers. "This will feed them," she declared, her determination now infectious, sparking a sense of purpose among the children. They all hurriedly arranged their little makeshift assembly line, ready to distribute the food to their neighbors. "No one should be out there alone," Lily said, looking around at their young faces. Each child seemed invested in her vision. "We'll go door to door. Everyone deserves a piece of home, even on days like today." As they bundled up for their mission, Lily caught sight of the banker through the window, his form outlined against the swirling snow. He was a looming shadow, watching with an unreadable expression. It ignited something deep inside her, a mix of resolve and anger. "Maybe he thinks he can scare us," she murmured, more to herself than anyone else. "But we are more than his business." With bundled-up jackets and hats pulled low over their foreheads, Lily led her small army into the storm, their laughter cutting through the howling gale. They navigated through the snow like giggling ghosts, dispelling the tempest with every shared smile and warm bowl. Knocking on doors, the response was overwhelming. People gratefully welcomed them in, their faces lighting up at the sight of the children carrying warmth and food. Each bowl of soup and warm loaf seemed to dissolve the biting cold. It wrapped around hearts, too. They shared stories of struggle and laughter, building bonds that went well beyond a single meal. Yet the looming threat of the businessman lingered like a storm cloud in the back of Lily's mind. With every home they visited, she couldn't help but feel the undercurrent of fear, the uncertainty over what would happen to their bakery, to their community. The cozy gatherings were a balm, but would it be enough to stave off the icy grip of despair that swept in with the storm? As they returned to the SullivansBakery, crawling with hope and fatigue alike, Lily found her father staring out the window, worry etched into his features. She took a deep breath, her heart racing. "Dad, we need to talk about the bakery and about him," she whispered, her voice steady but laced with urgency. The thought twisted in her gut. She didn't want to drag her family through this darkness, but she knew that keeping this fight going meant facing the storm head-on. Outside, the winds howled, but inside, surrounded by warmth and laughter, something shifted in Lily. It wasn't just about saving the bakery anymore. It was about safeguarding their identity, their hope. As she stood resolute, she realized that the real battle was just beginning. Did they even have a chance against the businessman's might, or was hope just another illusion in a relentless storm? Lily's heart raced as she gathered the courage to approach her father. The flickering light from the bakery cast soft shadows on his face, revealing lines of worry etched deeper than the usual stress of the business. She could almost feel the weight of his fears pressing down on her, intertwining with her own. "Dad, I heard what he said," she began, trying to steady her voice. "We can't let him take the bakery." The urgency in her tone caught her father's attention. He turned to face her, brow furrowed, the flicker of hope countered by despair in his eyes. "I don't know, Lily. He's powerful, and right now, it feels like we're fighting against the storm itself. We're just a small bakery," he responded, the look of defeat threatening to overshadow his fatherly pride. "But we're more than that," Lily insisted, her determination rising like the dough they had kneaded that day. "This bakery means everything to our community, to us. Look at what we did today. People were happy. They felt loved and cared for. We can't just give up." Her father sighed, running a hand through his hair, contemplating. "I want to believe that. But what if we can't pay the bills? What if he pushes us out? Then we fight back, she declared fiercely, her spirit igniting. It was no longer just about bread, it was about community, about every person who found solace in their little bakery, about the warmth the O'Sullivans provided in a world filled with bitter cold. In that moment, the front door swung open. A gust of snow swirled in, bringing with it Mrs. Hargrove, a kindly, elderly neighbor with her cheeks rosy from the cold. She shook the snow from her scarf and looked around, her smile brightening the dim room. "Hello, dears. What's this I hear about the bakery being in trouble?" she asked, concern woven through her words. Lily exchanged a look with her father. "We were just talking about how we can keep it open, Mrs. Hargrove," Lily replied. "Let me tell you something, my child," Mrs. Hargrove said, her eyes sparkling with determination. "When the blizzards of '88 hit this city, we all pulled together. There was a bakery then, too. Those people came together, shared what they had, because that's what a community does. You think you're alone in this fight? You're not. We'll stand with you." Tears pooled in Lily's eyes as she listened to the words of resilience, the memories hitting her like a rush of warm air after the biting cold. "We can start a community campaign," she blurted. "A bake sale, an open house. Show everyone we're fighting for our place." Mrs. Hargrove nodded, enthusiasm rising in the air like the aroma of fresh bread. "I'll help organize. We'll rally the neighbors. Everyone loves your bread, Lily. We all want to support you." Lily felt a fire igniting in her chest. Her father's eyes softened, their shimmer of hope rekindled by the power of community. "You really think we can do this?" he asked, his earlier worry slightly lifting. "Yes," Lily exclaimed, her voice ringing with hope. "This bakery is the heart of our community. Together we are strong. Together we can make a difference." With renewed spirits, they brainstormed ideas, laughter echoing against the walls. The storm outside may have been relentless, but here, in the sanctuary of their bakery, something was shifting. But as they plotted their plans, Lily glanced out the window. The banker still stood in the distance, watching them, his figure stark against the swirling snow. The determination boiled within her. Would the strength of their community be enough to combat the icy grip of despair he represented? Would they truly find a way to stand together against the darkness breathing down their necks? With her heart racing, Lily knew that this was only the beginning. What would the next storm bring, and were they prepared for the challenges ahead? The following morning, the bakery hummed with a different kind of energy. The warmth from the ovens wrapped around Lily like a comforting blanket, while the scent of fresh bread filled the air, an aroma that felt like a promise. Customers trickled in, each familiar face greeted with a smile. Lily moved gracefully behind the counter, handing out pastries and exchanging pleasantries. "Good morning, Mr. Johnson. How's the hot cocoa today?" "Can't beat it, Lily. Just like your mother used to make." He chuckled with a toothy grin, the memories brightening his weathered face. Every interaction solidified her belief in the bakery's impact. It was a space where people connected, where laughter danced above the sounds of busy baking and brewing. As the clock ticked toward noon, the bakery door swung open again. This time it was Sam, her childhood friend, bundled up against the biting cold. His cheeks were red, but there was a fire alive in his eyes. "Lily, I heard the news. I'm here to help," he exclaimed, shaking off the snow like a dog. "What do you need?" Before she could answer, the bell above the door chimed again, and suddenly the bakery was bustling. Neighbors poured in, all drawn by a sense of urgency. "Lily, we're ready to start the campaign," Mrs. Hargrove declared, her voice warm yet commanding. "Let's meet tonight. We can plan out the bake sale, have music, and perhaps a story corner for the kids." Lily's heart soared at the sight of everyone rallying together. It was a wave of support she hadn't expected, and it washed over her with a refreshing sense of strength. "Absolutely," she replied with eager enthusiasm. We need to show the community what the bakery means to us and how important it is for everyone. Ideas flowed like batter in a bowl. Everyone spoke over one another, stoking excitement. Meanwhile, in the midst of this friendly chaos, her father observed from the back, wiping his hands on a flour-dusted apron. His eyes danced with pride, reflecting the spirit of the gathering. He may have been scared the day before, but now he saw hope rising like the dough in their ovens. Suddenly, Sam paused, looking serious. "Do you think the banker will just back down?" The question hung in the air, the buzzing chatter fading into the background. Lily swallowed hard. "I don't know, Sam, but we're not backing down. Not now." Mrs. Hargrove stepped closer, placing a gentle hand on Lily's shoulder. "You have us, dear. Each person who walks through that door believes in what you're doing. We're fighting together." Reassured, Lily leaned into her community, feeling the pulse of resolve that surged through each heart present. They turned back to discussions, diving deep into specifics. As the clock chimed 1, they exchanged phone numbers and made plans, laughing as they laid out their strategies for later that evening. Everyone left with smiles, each heart buoyed with solidarity. But as the last customer left, Lily noticed something ominous outside. The banker was there again, arms crossed, watching. Something cold twisted in her stomach. Was he waiting for them to fail, hoping they'd crumble under the pressure? With a renewed sense of purpose, she lifted her chin. "We will not be defeated," she murmured to herself, feeling the weight of their support on her shoulders. The night promised to be pivotal, where their plans would take shape and their fight would begin in earnest. What words would they summon to uplift their spirits, and would they convince their community to stand strong against the storm approaching? Lily knew only one thing for sure: the battle for the bakery was just beginning. The evening air bristled with anticipation as the bakery's quaint space transformed under the warm glow of fairy lights. Members of the community trickled in, bringing with them an energy that buzzed like the faint hum of a lively conversation. Lily stood at the head of the table, her heart racing. She couldn't believe how many had shown up to support her. "Let's get this started," she said, clapping her hands to draw everyone's attention. The room fell quiet, and all eyes turned to her. "Tonight is about rallying together to save something precious to us all. This bakery isn't just a building, it's a home for our memories, our laughter, and our stories." A murmur of agreement surged through the crowd. Mrs. Hargrove nodded, her eyes glimmering with pride. "We've all come to cherish this place. We'll fight for our community." They split into smaller groups, each tackling different aspects of the campaign. Some would organize the bake sale, while others would drum up community support. Sam, ever the go-getter, instantly jumped into planning the music lineup. "This is going to be fun," he grinned. "Let's make it a real event. Imagine the kids dancing, families enjoying the treats, and us rallying the spirit of the bakery." Lily felt the atmosphere shift. Ideas flowed like hot cocoa on a snowy day, each contribution adding to the warmth of hope that cocooned them all. The clinking of plates and laughter permeated the air as they brainstormed, sketching out colorful posters and sharing vivid dreams of the bake sale's success. But amidst the laughter, a knot twisted in Lily's stomach as thoughts of the banker crept back into her mind. The man's icy demeanor loomed over her like a cloud, casting a shadow on the joy that filled the room. "What if he doesn't budge?" she whispered to herself, catching Sam's eye. He leaned closer, concern etching his brow. "Lily, why do you let him get to you? You've got us. We believe in what you're doing. That's what matters." His words were a balm, and Lily felt herself breathe a little easier. She pushed the doubt aside and motivated the group to keep moving forward. As they wrapped up their meeting, plans solidified and the sense of unity fortified with every shared laugh and cheerful exchange. As the last straggler picked up their coat and stepped outside, the cold air slapped Lily's cheeks like a stark reminder of reality. "Are we ready for this?" she asked the group, her voice wavering slightly. Their faces broke into determined smiles. Every nod and affirmation reassured her that they truly were in this together. But her heart dropped as her gaze brushed the darkened street outside. The banker was still there, leaning against his car, arms crossed, a smirk threatening to break across his face. It felt as if he were taunting her, waiting for them to falter. "You're not alone in this, Lily," Sam said, nudging her shoulder. "Together, we're stronger." Taking a deep breath, she dispelled the shadows of doubt and squared her shoulders. Let him think what he wants. We're just getting started. As they locked the door behind them, they stepped away from the bakery, the cool air invigorating their senses. A sense of determination settled deep in their hearts. But just when hope began to bloom, a loud crash echoed behind them. Whirling around, they saw a large box of pastries toppling to the ground. A careless accident or something more sinister? Heartbeat racing, Lily stepped forward, sensing a deeper challenge looming in the darkness. What more awaited them as they ventured into the unknown? And would that box spill secrets as heavy as the burdens they were already carrying? Lily approached the box, her heart pounding. The sound of pastries hitting the cold pavement echoed like a siren, drawing the attention of the remaining crowd. As she bent down to pick up the scattered treats, she noticed a small envelope nestled among the broken pastries. Curiosity piqued, she reached for it, brushing away the powdered sugar dust that coated its surface. "Hey, what did you find?" Sam asked, stepping closer. A few others began to gather, their eyes drawn to the mysterious envelope in her hand. Lily carefully opened it, revealing an old-fashioned photograph. It depicted the bakery, but not as it was now. The image showed the building decades ago, with a smiling family in front. Beneath the photograph, in elegant handwriting, it read, "Not just a bakery, a legacy of love." "Whoa," Sam whispered, peering over her shoulder. "That's amazing." Lily's fingers trembled slightly. This is from decades ago. It means this place has been a part of the community long before any of us were born. It's more than just bricks and mortar. Suddenly, a sense of connection washed over her, as if the story of the bakery was weaving into her very identity. Has she truly understood its depth? The laughter, the tears, the moments shared over steaming cups of coffee, it all made sense now. Just then, Mrs. Hargrove stepped forward, eyes wide with nostalgia. "That's my aunt and uncle," she exclaimed, pointing to the photograph. "They opened this bakery in the 1940s. Their dreams started right here." Lily looked at Mrs. Hargrove with newfound appreciation. "Then we can't let it go. Not now, not ever." "We need to share this with everyone," Sam chimed in. "This can be our story, the heart of our campaign." The excitement bubbled through the group, each recognizing not just the bakery, but the history behind it, the very essence of their community, alive and thriving with memories and love. The laughter, warmth, and history fueled their resolve to fight back against anyone who would threaten it. But as they stood there buzzing with ideas, Lily's eyes flickered back to the banker's dark figure still lurking nearby. He had witnessed their gathering, seen this moment of revelation. Would it embolden him to act more aggressively? "What do we do now?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Tension filled the air, thick and palpable. A sense of urgency gripped the group. They had to harness this discovery, turn it into momentum. "Let's create a display at the bake sale. We can show everyone how this place has impacted lives over the years," Sam suggested. "I love it. We can invite the community to share their stories too," another voice chimed in. Just as they began planning their next steps, the banker's smirk faded. It was replaced by a hard glare, making it clear he was not going to back down easily. "Lily, this is just the beginning," Sam reminded her, his voice determined. "We can do this." With every second that passed, the stakes felt higher. Hope mingled with fear as they prepared to battle for more than just a bakery. They were fighting for their shared past, their memories, and each other. As they started to walk away from the scene, the night air filled with determination. A sudden gust of wind swept past them. It carried whispers of the past that echoed in their hearts. But would the truth of their legacy be enough to hold the banker at bay? Would the community come together in time to save their cherished home, or was it all slipping through their fingers like flour in the wind? The answer seemed just out of reach as Lily stepped forward, her resolve hardening. One thing was clear. This was only the beginning, and the true fight was yet to come. The air was electric as they stepped back into the warmth of the bakery, the flickering lights filling the space with a cozy glow. Lily clutched the photograph tightly, her mind racing with ideas. The scent of freshly baked bread wafted around them, merging with the excitement in the room. "What if we create a collage?" someone suggested, their eyes sparkling. "A timeline of memories, photos, anything we can gather." Lily nodded, her heart racing. They needed to expand this idea. "Yes, we can ask the community to bring their own photos and stories." A wave of motivation surged through her. The bakery had seen generations pass through its doors, each with their own little moment of joy or sadness tucked away in the flour-dusted walls. As the group buzzed with ideas, fueled by adrenaline and nostalgia, Mrs. Hargrove poured herself a cup of coffee. "This bakery has always been a refuge," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "People remember moments here, birthdays, anniversaries, even heartbreak." Lily's chest tightened at the thought. It felt like such an honor to be part of something so deep-rooted. They were fighting not just for a building, but for every smile and tear shared under this roof. But even as the hope flickered brightly, a shadow fell over her thoughts. Would the banker truly understand the essence of it all? It felt like he was watching, as if he wanted to snuff out the light they were igniting. "Let's set a date for the bake sale and this community gathering," Sam suggested. "Maybe next weekend. We need to make a splash." "Absolutely," she agreed, feeling the warmth of excitement swell. Again. Let's spread the word. As they brainstormed and planned, it seemed the bakery itself came alive with the spirit of resistance. Each pastry and cake became a symbol of hope. The door chimed, and Lily turned, hope twisting into anxiety as her eyes landed on the banker. He stepped inside, slick and imposing, his presence casting a pall over the joyous atmosphere. "Fancy seeing you all here," he stated, a hint of mockery lacing his voice. "Gathering community, how quaint, but nostalgia won't save you." Lily's stomach dropped, fury and fear intertwining within her. "What do you want?" she managed, trying to keep her voice steady. He took a step forward, eyes narrowing. "Simple. This place is prime real estate, and there are buyers waiting. Don't think they'll care about memories." The room went silent, the collective breath of the group hitching in their throats. They were trading looks of alarm and determination, a silent pact forming. This was their bakery, and they were not going to lose it without a fight. Lily felt the power of their shared resolve envelop her. "You underestimate us," she declared, her voice gaining strength. "The community won't let that happen. We're going to show everyone how important this bakery is." The banker's lips curled into a cynical smile. "We'll see, won't we?" he replied, turning to leave. But as the door closed behind him, a sense of urgency filled the air. "We really need to make this gathering big," Sam urged, glancing around the group. "What if we reach out to the local media, invite them to cover our stories?" "Yes!" Lily exclaimed, the idea sparking a new flame of hope. "Let's make it a celebration of everything this bakery means." As they began making calls and drafting messages, the clock seemed to tick louder, echoing the urgency of their mission. They were building something monumental, a fortress of community, love, and resilience around something so fragile but vital. Yet, deep within her, doubts lingered. What if their efforts weren't enough? The banker was relentless. He was a storm cloud hovering over their sunny day, lurking and waiting to strike. But, invigorated by the sense of cohesion in the room, Lily declared, "Together, we can turn this around. We just need to believe." Would belief be enough to withstand the storm? As they dove into their plans, the atmosphere simmered with anticipation. Challenges lay ahead, yet they were charged with a passion that felt unbreakable. Lily took a deep breath, a hint of fear still gnawing at her resolve. But in the depth of her heart, a fierce belief built within her. The fight for the bakery and the community was only just beginning. As they planned their rallying cry, she wondered, what other secrets did the past hold that could help them secure their future? The next morning, Lily woke up with the sun spilling through her window. The bakery loomed large in her mind, a place filled with memories, promises, and a fight waiting to happen. She stretched, eager to dive into the day ahead. They had a lot to do, and every minute counted. Downstairs, the aroma of brewing coffee mingled with something sweeter, sugar. Her mother was already up, working on the day's batch of pastries. "Morning, sweetheart," her mother chirped, flour dusting her cheeks like gentle snowflakes. "You're up early. Excited about the gathering?" "More than ever," Lily said, pouring herself a cup of coffee. "It needs to be amazing, Mom. We need everyone to really feel what this bakery means." Her mother nodded, her eyes softening. "You know, this place has always drawn people together. Just like your grandmother used to say, good bread makes good friends." The twinkle in her mother's eyes reminded Lily that the memories they were saving were worth every ounce of effort. After breakfast, Lily spent the day gathering supplies. Bins full of colorful paper, markers, and glue filled her trunk as she made her way to the bakery. Each stop brought her closer to the heartbeat of the community. A stack of flyers here, some old photos there, all pieces that would help them build a detailed collage of their history, their spirit. At the bakery, they gathered again, everyone bustling about with purpose. Sam had rounded up a group of volunteers to help. Laughter filled the air, interspersed with the familiar sound of the mixer whirring and the clanking of trays. This was not just a bake sale, it was a declaration of love. As they worked, Mrs. Hargrove hung some photos on the walls, black and white images of joyful faces of a younger bakery filled with bustling patrons. "This is what it's all about," she said, her voice trembling. "These memories are alive. They belong to us." Lily followed Mrs. Hargrove's gaze, taking in the sight of the bakery glowing with youthful energy. They were not just creating a celebration. They were breathing life into history. Every touch, every smile shared between them was like a thread weaving their stories into a beautiful tapestry. But the banker's words echoed in her mind, darkening the vivid colors they were painting. She felt the weight of anxiety settling into her stomach like a stone. In that moment, Lily resolved. She wouldn't allow fear to hold her back. "Everyone, listen up," she called, rallying everyone's attention. "What we're doing here is bigger than just this weekend. This bakery has history that binds us together. Let's invite everyone, the old and the young, the new and the seasoned. Let's remind this town why it's important to protect what makes us family." A wave of cheers erupted around her, faces lighting with hope. The energy sparked a chain reaction, igniting their passion further. "We've got to have more than just food," Sam chimed in. "We need stories. Let's set up a corner where people can write down their memories. We can read them out loud." "Yes, it's perfect," Lily responded, grinning. "Let's show how this place has been part of their lives too." As the afternoon wore on, they painted, they baked, and they shared all the little bits of themselves that made the bakery special. But as they prepared for tomorrow, the shadow of the banker loomed. They still had to fight for their dreams. Later that evening, as she sat in the quiet of her room, Lily leafed through the photographs they had collected. A sudden thought hit her. The blizzard of 1888. She had heard stories about it from her grandmother, how people had banded together during that terrible storm. Maybe that historical event could inspire their gathering. What if, she whispered to herself, eyes wide with a new idea, what if we tell that story? As she jotted down her thoughts, a rush of exhilaration flooded her. This was just the spark they needed, a way to show that when the storm hit, they'd face it together. But would sharing that connection be enough to rally everyone? Tomorrow would be a test of their strength, their resolve, and their passion. And in her heart, Lily knew she had to lead them through it. She took a deep breath, her heart pounding. The moment of truth was close. Would their stories be enough to weather the storm? The next day dawned bright and clear, a stark contrast to the weight on Lily's shoulders. She stood at the bakery's front window, gazing at the street where neighbors began to mingle, the warmth of the sun dancing on their faces. Today was the day, a pivotal moment when all their efforts would be tested. Lily glanced around the bakery, which buzzed with a delightful energy. Sam was pinning up the final decorations, a colorful mix of photos and notes, while Mrs. Hargrove helped organize tables filled with pastries. Each little detail was designed to evoke their shared past. But underneath it all, the fear of potential loss silently shadowed her thoughts. "Hey, Lily, you ready for this?" Sam called out, brushing his hands on his apron. His enthusiasm was infectious, yet her heart still raced. "I'm trying," she replied with a smile, but her mind flickered back to the banker's cold demeanor and the threats that loomed over them. She pushed those thoughts aside. Today was not about fear. As they set up, people began to trickle in. Familiar faces filled the bakery, and soon laughter echoed against the walls. The pictures hung proudly, framing the memories that defined them, and Lily felt as if the bakery was hugging everyone, pulling them together like a family reunion. When the time came for Lily to address the crowd, she felt a rush of adrenaline. She cleared her throat, the room buzzing with anticipation. "Thank you all for being here," she began, her voice a blend of nerves and excitement. "This bakery is part of all of us. It's not just about bread, it's about history, friendship, and love." A gentle murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. There it was, that connection she knew was there, hidden beneath the surface. "I want us to share our stories today. I know many of you remember the blizzard of 1888. Glancing around, she caught eyes filled with recognition. The weight of history pressed lightly on her shoulders, and she pressed on, her voice steady. During that storm, the community came together. The bakery stood as a beacon for relief. Families found warmth here. People nodded, recalling tales of snowfall that blocked streets and stories filled with fear but ended in warmth and comfort. "Yes," an older man shouted from the back. "We helped each other. That bakery saved us." Lily's heart swelled at the confirmation. "Exactly. And looking at this place today, we have our own storm to weather," she continued, finding strength in the murmurs around her. "But we're not alone. Let's share our memories. Let's write them down. Who wants to go first?" A hush settled over the crowd for a moment, but then it was broken by the elder Mrs. Hargrove. She stepped forward, voice trembling but steady. "I remember that blizzard as if it were yesterday. My family was trapped, and we came here every day for food and support." The room listened, captivated by her story, drawing them closer together. As the stories flowed, so did the tears and laughter. Moments of joy mixed with the bittersweet realization of what could be lost. With every tale told, Lily felt barriers break down, the bond between them growing stronger. But amid the joy, doubt still lingered. Would the energy of their community be enough to save the bakery? Before long, her thoughts were interrupted by Sam, who popped up beside her. "Lily, check this out," he exclaimed, pointing toward the window. Lily turned, her breath catching as the sight met her eyes. People were gathered outside, looking in with curiosity. Then she noticed the flyers. New faces adding their stories, an unexpected audience. "More folks just joined us. They want to hear," Sam cheered, his excitement infectious. Lily's heart surged with a mix of hope and trepidation. She realized they had the chance to rally their community beyond just the bakery's walls. But as the stories poured forth like freshly baked bread from the oven, she couldn't shake the feeling of the impending storm. Would their voice be strong enough to protect their treasure? As laughter intertwined with memories, Lily took a moment to let it all sink in. Still, uncertainty bubbled beneath the surface. What would it take to ensure this moment didn't just pass by like a warm breeze, but rather stood as a wall against the cold winds of change? Tomorrow would bring the answers, but for now, she held on tightly to the connection they were strengthening. Could this gathering of love and memory truly save what was so dear to them? The day of the bake sale dawned bright, each ray of sun a blessing on their effort, but Lily felt a weight pressing down within her. They had shared stories, laughter, and dreams, but doubt still clawed at her heart. Today was the big test, the moment that would determine the course of their efforts. As she set up the last table, she glanced around the bakery, filled with the scent of freshly baked bread and sweet pastries. It buzzed with activity as neighbors pulled together for the cause. The warmth radiated against the chilly backdrop of uncertainty that hung in the air like a fog. "Lily, everything looks amazing," Sam called, his eyes alight with excitement. The bakery buzzed with energy, laughter bouncing off the walls, yet her heart raced, shadows creeping into the corners of her mind. Her thoughts turned to the banker lurking outside. Would he see the strength they had built here? As noon approached, they gathered for the opening moment. Lily looked around at all the faces, neighbors, old friends, their community standing with her, echoing her belief in this place. "This is more than just a bake sale. It's a celebration of our community, our love, and our shared history," she announced, her voice ringing with passion. The crowd erupted in cheers, and warmth bloomed within her. Yet the banker's icy glare flickered through her thoughts. Would these faces be enough to combat the dark shadows he cast? While people roamed, sharing stories and tasting treats, moments unfolded. A mother told her daughter's friend about the time they had celebrated a birthday in the bakery, laughter spilling from their lips. An elderly couple reminisced about their first date, seated near the window, exchanging tender smiles as reality faded around them. As the stories flowed, Lily's heart soared. These moments mattered. They were memories seeping into the foundation of the bakery, roots binding them together. But with every laugh, with each shared memory, an undercurrent of anxiety thrummed beneath. Then, just when she thought triumph was theirs, a hush fell over the crowd. The banker stood at the door, arms crossed, a smirk perched on his lips. "Nice gathering you have here," he remarked, his voice chilling the air. "But this won't stop the inevitable. This place needs money, not memories." Lily's heart sank. Would he challenge them? Yet she felt the warmth of her community around her. "You're wrong," she replied bravely, stepping forward. "This bakery isn't just about finances. It's about families, friendships, and hope. This is our home." The crowd surged with her, breaking the tension as thousands of hearts beat together in that moment. "We stand together," echoed through the bakery. The banker's smirk wavered just for an instant. He stepped back, but the storm within him raged. "Keep dreaming," he said, turning away, confidence wavering as he walked back into the snow blanketing the street behind him. Their collective breath released, voices rising again, laughter spilling back into the room. The energy shifted entirely now, a wave of resilience washing over them. More stories unraveled, emotions intertwining. In the corner, a young girl shared how the bakery had comforted her during tough days, while a father recalled how he first introduced his daughter to the sweet joys of pastries. Each voice reaffirmed what the bakery truly meant to them, a lifeline. As dusk set in, the last of the pastries sold out, and the faces glowed with joy. They had not just rallied for the bakery, but for each other, a family forged in love and resilience. Lily looked around, and in that moment, doubts dissipated. This was their victory. The banker was just one storm among many they could weather together. "Thank you all," Lily spoke, her voice steady and clear. "We've not just saved a bakery, we've revived our community, our bonds of love." Cheers erupted, and amidst the jubilant noise, she saw Mrs. Hargrove shining with pride. Memories would indeed be their strength. They would keep fighting. They could stand against the storm, together. As the last light of day slipped away, Lily felt an extraordinary sense of peace fill her heart. They had done it, not just for themselves, but as a testament to community spirit. The past had woven itself into her present, becoming a legacy that would endure. The O'Sullivan Bakery was unbreakable, nestled in the resilience of their stories. And thus, the heart of New York City continued to beat strong, defying the cold, with warmth flooding through each cherished moment. Now is the time to take action. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait, not even one more second to share. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and let us know your feelings and reactions in the comments below. Together, we can keep these heartwarming stories alive. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to hear this powerful transformation.